All right, guys. So today I'm going to be talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Monkey D. Garp, the hero of the Marines, the coolest character in One Piece. Well, one of the coolest characters. That title of coolest goes to Rono Azoro. Obviously, he's the most badass person in the series. But so Garp is. This is going to be more of like a just like appreciation video and a um, kind of speculation of where Garp's character is going to go, and like just I guess like yeah, just an appreciation video. So Garp, we first see Garp officially in the manga um, when he comes to rescue, or not rescue, but he comes to um, the Navy base that Kobe and Hamampo they're at when they're first like cabin boys and stuff like that. Um, and we see Garp. We don't know who he is, but we know that he's like some high-ranking Marine. He's got the dog hat on, which I wish that he would bring that dog hat back. Like we haven't seen ever since that he was like introduced as Luffy's grandpa. That chapter in volume 45. Um, we haven't seen Garp in that dog hat, which his ship has that dog. We don't even know why he likes that dog. I mean, it's clear that I think it was a trick, for Oda to, um, introduce this character and have the side stories at the beginning of the chapters, like with Kobe and Halempo, um, to kind of somewhat foreshadow their growth and strength without actually revealing like who this Marine Admiral is. But yeah, so Garp, we see Garp, and he's um when we first actually like learn that he's Luffy's grandpa. That's one of the craziest moments of the series for me. Um, Seeing Luffy's actually like family and stuff like that. Besides, we get to see Ace and stuff that like that beforehand, but to see someone who is so, it just like it adds to the element of um Luffy having relations to powerful people like all over the world. Like obviously Vice Admiral. Then like we learn immediately afterwards that his dad is Monkey D. Dragon. The leader of the revolutionaries. All this stuff is like basic stuff. That if you're caught up with the manga, all this stuff. Um, Something that has been talked about with Garp as of recently too. There's been a debate in the One Piece community about Garp's strength, um, and the only the feats that we've seen of Garp, as far as like physical strengths. Um, the first one is, I mean, he obviously shows off his hockey when he does like the fist of love against Luffy, but when he's ordered to chase down the Straw Hats when they're like about to leave Water 7. He throws that massive iron ball, um, which I mean that just shows like his strength right there. Like this dude is he's strong. And I don't think he has a. It's I'm pretty sure he's one of those characters who he just doesn't have a devil fruit. I used to think that he had like some strength fruit back when I was like, when I first read that one chapter. I'm like, dude, there's no way that someone is this strong. But yeah, I'm not sure if it has been confirmed or not that he doesn't have a devil fruit, but I'm like 99% sure he doesn't. Um, so we see that for his strength. Then we get a flashback later on in the series when Garp would encounter Don Chi Jiao, and Garp would just he flattened Don Chi Jiao's like little cone head top with the strength of his just like hockey. And Garp himself, um, he was up for to be like an admiral. Like the only reason he didn't take the admiral position is because he wanted to be more free and go down and hunt Roger. And the biggest thing that people point to for his feats and why he has the nickname the hero of the Marines is because he's the one who's credited with bringing in Gold D. Roger, the king of the pirates. And this is where a lot of the debate comes in as to how strong Garp actually is, because as we know, the readers, Garp, or not Garp, Roger was, he was sick. He had very little time left to live, so he gave himself up. Um, and it's been kind of told to us bits and pieces that Garp and Roger, they like had so many battles like back and forth, um, that that's what built like the trust between Garp and Roger, as to like him to entrust his son Ace to him. Um, what's what's weird there, if you go onto the One Piece wiki, it states that like Garp, or not Garp, Roger says that they battled so often, like to each other. They fought each other so much, and they were like kind of on death's door, like so much that like they become so close. But in the actual like the English Viz translations on like the actual volumes, it says, I actually have it right here. It says that we've been fighting each other for years. I trust you as much as any of my shipmates. So it doesn't really talk about like the, how in depth they went of like fighting. And so many people compare this to Luffy and Smoker, where Smoker has obviously almost like captured Luffy numerous times, but if you compare the two in terms of like the story today, they're nowhere near close in combat ability. So there is a big debate. I personally am of the belief that Garp and Roger, they were of like kind of somewhat equal caliber of strength, just based on the way that everyone like kind of talks about Garp, and the fact that we've seen like how just like strong Garp actually is, like some of his strength and stuff like that. I don't think that Garp is strong enough though to kill like Aki Inu Sakazuki. We see that in the in the Paramount War, after Ace is killed by Sakazuki, Garp is like tackled by Sengoku, and Sengoku, or Garp is like, you better hope you keep holding me down, Sengoku, because I'm gonna kill Sakazuki. And that kind of brings me into why I also really love Garp, not just because of like the infamy around his name and stuff like that, but just how complex it is to have someone who I feel bad for the guy too, because of, you have someone who, he has a grandson, and then he's entrusted, and then he also has like an entrusted grandson, where he wants nothing more than, and he has his own son, Dragon. He wants he probably wanted Dragon too to like be nothing more than just like a Marine, just be like a upstanding citizen, save people, that kind of stuff. Which, I mean, technically Luffy and Dragon do kind of do, but Garp's philosophy is to be like within, law and through the world government. So we see Garp. Garp was very pissed when he learns that both Luffy and Ace become pirates. Garp, he holds like a big grudge against red-haired Shanks because of the influence that Shanks has obviously on Luffy. And one of my favorite panels is, or like moments of a chapter, is at the Paramount War, when Garp pulls up. Ace is already in like his in cuffs and on the top of the execution platform, and Garp kind of walks up, and Sengoku turns to him and he says, like, Garp, what are you doing here? You better not do anything stupid. And Garp's like, if I was going to, I would have done it a while ago. And then he sits down next to Ace and he starts crying. Just, why, Ace? Why didn't you follow in the steps that I planned out, to become a, just a good Marine? And just that conflict that Garp has to face where, obviously he wanted to let Luffy go, um, and then he was ordered to you know um, hunt after Luffy at Water 7. He is just he's a father, like Sengoku says it himself. He's a father before he's a Navy man, a Marine man. Um, and that internal conflict for him of like his ideals and his family, like it's tough. I don't know. I just really every time I reread the series, I always like really enjoyed reading Garp's parts because of like that conflict, and like I what I'm really excited for, we get to see Garp in chapter 905, I believe. Yeah, 905. He was escorting King Neptune, Shirahoshi, all her brothers, all that stuff. And so since Garp is like close by, maybe we're gonna get to see something between Garp and Dragon. Um, I I really want to see where Garp like just where he feel like just having a conversation like where he feels like he went wrong of like in his eyes wrong of raising um, Dragon and then raising Luffy and Ace, like but to counter that point, is it really going wrong because Dragon's whole goal is to take down the stupid system that Garp even himself said like this is a those stupid celestial dragons, like that's who Dragon is going after. So and Dragon wants to help like liberate the people, like he wants to do away with like all the stupid like rulers, especially from like the Goa kingdom with like their hometown. So I don't really know, like it would be curious to see Garp and Dragon have that conversation. I don't think that we're gonna get like a really in depth conversation like that, but I mean I can hope. What I also am curious about Garp is whether or not like how he set down the path of becoming a Marine, and like why he has like this sense of justice so much, in comparison to like Luffy, Dragon, and Ace, obviously. Um, we get to see a glimpse of like a young Garp in film Z when he's next to Sengoku and Tesoro, or not Tesoro, Suryu, and he looks cool there. We don't get to see like any of his like feats and everything, but yeah, I just wonder, like Oda did a drawing of Garp as a kid, and he's riding a tiger, I believe, and he's holding like a pole and like a treasure chest, and he's like kind of laughing out loud. So I would really love to see like a story of just like centered around Garp. I think that would be really cool. I think he's one of like he's a really cool character, and he's used a lot just to like add to like the world building. Like when Garp was introduced in volume 45, I think it's chapter 400 something, 400 and let me see, checking 432. When he really, or actually it's 431, but 432 is like when he really goes into depth and talks about like, yeah, Luffy, I'm your grandpa, or like says that to the Straw Hat crew because Luffy obviously knows, but he reveals what the Yonko, the Four Emperor, are. He has that moment where he says Dragon's name, and then everyone like freaks out, and he's like, he's fixing the wall, and he's like, maybe I shouldn't have said that, like, and everyone's like, yeah, you think? I don't know. He's just like an awesome character. I think he's hilarious. Really badass too. And yeah, he's just like such a cool character. I really hope we get to see some more. Now after after the war and everything, he is no longer technically a vice admiral. He is he's like an instructor, like a marine instructor, and I think it's just like he's there as like just kind of like a symbol, like this is like Garp, the hero of the Marines, and he just likes being it. He's almost 80 years old. He likes just being around Marines, and like he can still probably kick ass, like yeah, I just think that later in the series we're gonna get some more reactions. I really wish we got a reaction of Garp seeing Luffy's status as a Goko or an emperor, and his bounty of the 1.5 million or billion. But yeah, I really love Garp, one of my favorite characters, and excited to see if he has any more impact in the Reverie. I think he will. I just don't know to what extent he is gonna, play of, um, influencing the story or having conversations with like Dragon or stuff like that. I think it'd be cool, but I don't really know how it would work. But all right, guys. Yeah, that's day 3 of this challenge. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys like Garp as much as I do. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you dislike the video, dislike the video. Subscribe, comment, all that stuff. So I'll be making a video tomorrow, so I'll see you guys then.